Oh no. Uh, problem. Too hype. It was too hype. It broke the desktop. All right, I'm gonna have to fix it. Desktop not available. Refresh? Question mark? No? Okay. All right. Well, I tried to give you guys some hype this morning because I was. We had a little bit of a leak. Although, was it a leak? I mean, let's see here. There we go. We got this. As to whether or not it is exactly a leak, well, I mean, I'm gonna say yes because it's on this sheet. Anyway, good evening, AOS players. Um, Hungry Panda, by the way, was first, and they are cursed. Large leaks, true. Ish. You can pass it off if you wish. And I had some like huge donos and subscriptions and stuff during the intro, which I'm very appreciative of. Let's see, we got DK Ratesberg with a big primer, 19 months. Comment is bigger. Good comment. Proposition Joe 99 subscribed for tier 1 TY, 13 months, a baker's year. Appreciate it. Orlando with the tier 2. Big tier. Big for BOC, he says. Good work. All right. Really appreciate it. Tier 2 is pretty high. Whomst else? There was somebody else. No, that seems to be it. That seems to be it. Although there was a certain CJ Yobusta donation. 100 burgers. Holy shit. Huge, dude. I really appreciate it. Gigamine, your third best AOS news source. Big PowerPoint time is the comment. And good comment. Also, I think it actually synced up pretty nicely with the music and added to the hype at the beginning. So I really appreciate it. Huge, dude. Kyle the Cozy, evening. This is so Fridays. I do the European time zone stream. I do EU time, and so the people I'm talking to, at least some of them, happen to live in Europe, and for them, tis evening. Rob74, thanks for the gifter. Appreciate it. Can we get a rehit on that, Buster? I feel like, yeah, it added to that intro thing, but a lot of it was lost, and so I will repress the button. Give me a moment. CJ Obusta taking your donations now. I see how it is. There were some comments earlier too. Hold up. Let's press that button. One more. Jumping on Potemkin.
Now you've done it.
Imagine. It's showtime. Damn, that's so hype. Anyway, TY SG Arcade for the 100 burgers. Huge, dude. I appreciate the donation a lot. Appreciated from Ireland. You do happen to live in Europe. TY for EU stream. Oh, nice. Yeah, people appreciate it. Look at all these names in chat that are often not able to watch my streams. So, yeah, that's why I do it. And, you know, sometimes it's hard for me to wake up for it, but there's something special about watching live that I think the gimmick is actually fun on Twitch, so I stream at different times for those reasons. Vinny 2000 just dumped 100 pounds onto oil paints. We'll post dragons painted with them when you get around to doing the painting. All right, yeah, keep us posted. Put it in the Hobby Show on stream for sure. Yeah, Pax Virtuo with the cream. Yeah. High as fuck, but Heywoah streams. Hope it's big. It will be big, Pro Waffles. I can assure you.
So
fucking big.
Oh, well, all right. Vebe agrees. I mean, who's that? And also, I'm 12. Orturius, thanks for the 1,000 bits. Hype for the big prince. The Prience. Give that little extra inflection, unnecessary inflection on that first vowel. The Prience. SDRK thinks the 5 tier 1 gifter is huge, my dude. Appreciate it. So many people lost their subs. Yeah, you know, I mean, it just happens. Junkyard Dog thinks a big primer. Big question mark? Great question. My answer is yes. The absolute timing. Yeah, Orturius.
Twitch Prime.
The sniper, actually. SJK thinks of the grip of gifters. Look, it's just going to happen. Sometimes there isn't Age of Sigmar news or really anything worth talking about for an entire month. Or at least 3/4 of a month. And so, you know, subs kind of peter out. Can't blame them. I can only do what I'm given, right? But here we go. All right, Chaos Leaks. Let's get to it, shall we? Can we get a pop?
Pop? Yeah.
Chaos Leaks, brought to you by the brave men and women of the GigaBrain content engine, GigaChads all. Warhammer, Age of Sigmar. Slavs to Darkness. What a sick cover, actually. This cover is sick. Cool helm, good fire. You got that deep black and white. Well, okay, black and gray, let's be honest. In the background there. This is a proper looking collector's edition, I gotta say. Oh, by the way, just to get ahead of myself real quick. They did post a news story about this immediately after said leaks. Because, I mean, I just want to, in case anyone doesn't know, these articles are like written and completed weeks ago. And they're just kind of on an assembly line waiting to get posted. And so here we are. There's this particular one I'd like to cover before the leaks. Rob74, thanks for the gifter. Night Hunt, Daughters of Kahane, which we knew about. In front of this, we got Fire Slayers, we got Eidenet Deepkin. We have Chaos Battle Tome, which everyone said, including me, was Skaven. Although, to be fair, this was our source.
Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
And so when I saw the Slaves to Darkness leaks, I'm like, oh shit, am I wrong? Is Vincent Venturilla wrong? Well, turns out, not necessarily. Winter is coming. But the Mystery Chaos Battle Tome is still in the summer. And then we got that other order one, and oh, look at this. Autumnal Battle Tomes, the Cascade of Tomes. Nice. Order, Chaos, and there it is. The GA exists. The Grand Alliance of Destruction actually exists. It was brought into question during some of these roadmaps, but we're double dipping. Double destries. Anyway, back to the Chaos Leaks. I wanted to get ahead of that real quick to alleviate anyone's sky is falling. Skaven players, you're seen and heard. But we're jumping the gun here. Also, I would like to reiterate, we don't have a source on the Skaven thing. It's just what everyone thinks. Corn feels like kind of a high possibility as well. To be TBH. I don't know if I thanked Rob74 for the Nether Gifter, but if I didn't, now I did. Is Gitz getting an update, or are those 2 Sons of Behemoth tombs? We will opine about what those, about what that roadmap could mean at the end of the PowerPoint. But also, good question. Next. Warning. Extreme leakage. Potat Googles on boys. All right. Everyone put on your potato goggles. Contents. All right. The Dread Host March. To walk a bleak path. The Dark Pantheon. Triumphs of the Ever-Chosen. A new upheaval. Realms in Ruin. At the crux of history. Annals of Ruin. To muster the Horde. The Damned Legions. All right, we got Archaon. B. Laker. Champions of the Chaos Tribes. Masters of the Dark Arts. Wrought in iron and hatred. The Ogoroids. Unleashed. The Lost and Damned Warbands of the 8 Points. Oh, cool. I look forward to reading about that stuff, too, actually. The Hordes of Chaos. Printing Guide, Armies of Darkness. All right. Any tidbits in here? Ensorcelled Banners, huh? All right. Sounds like one of those universal, or not universal. Sounds like one of those special enhancements, perhaps. And we got Path to Ignory, and then Matched Play. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. Path to Glory is, by all accounts, actually good now. It's just I don't play it. Grand Stratagems. All right. Core Battalions. Archaon, the Ever-Chosen. All right. Demon Prince Vanguard. B. Laker. What is this? Eterbius? Blade of the First Prince? What's that? Is that new? We got Gone Summoners, the old classic. Ogroid Myrmidon. Ogroid Theridons. Dark Oath War Queen, all that stuff. Chaos Spawns and Warriors and Knights. Soul Grinder is still, for some reason, part of this game, even though it's obviously a 40k model. Horns of Hashut. Oh. Horns of Hashish. I didn't know we'd be getting some Legions of Asgore in here. Really? Chorf fans, rise up. You got one model in the real game. Very interesting. It is in the section. It is in the section of Warcry warbands, because right here is Tarantulos, Brood, Splintered Fang, Corvus Cabal, so on and so forth. It's in what appears to me to be the Warcry warband section. So could Horns of Hashut actually be a new Warcry warband? Very interesting. Mindstealer, Sephiranx, Omoroid Crusher, the Chad, so on and so forth. Darkfire, Demon Rift, and then allies. Nice. Okay. Ogroid Thridons, Next Slide. Cool. Chorfs, Centurion Marshal, Chaos Legionnaires. What are those? Zarshia Bittersoul, Etermus Blade of the First Prince. Demon Prince is third entry. He may be big. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to catch up on chat. You missed the beginning of stream? Oh, I'm sorry, Vinny. I try to make my intros pretty hype, so I think, to me, they're worth watching. But there isn't, content there. It's just, vibes, I guess. You're more excited to see the new Chaos Chosen models that were next to the Demon Prince than you are to see the Demon Prince. There's new Chaos Chosen. Oh, boy. Dude, alright, so hold up. Point of fact. Why would Wissorin from Texas be excited to see the new Chaos Chosen? Well, I'll tell you why. I know what they look like. So, okay, we got Bellicor, Enhance. Bellicor, god damn, he looks so sick. Start collecting Slaves to Darkness. It's like, it's a Frank Frazetta painting on the side of a black van in 1986, rocking Ronnie James Dio. Uh, it's so cool. Varan guards, some think they're over-designed, but they don't have to be. If you paint them well, they're just three heroes in a squad that look awesome. Look at it. And then we got dudes like this. We got little Lego men from the before time. We got those chibi kind of Super Nintendo characters, and actually, look at this dude. All right, apologies. Some of the old shit looks awesome. Okay, some of the old shit. This is what Chaos Chosen looked like. For their time, these guys were badass. Nowadays, their proportions are kind of goofy. You know, they're looking a little weird. They're very small compared to new stuff. It's a tale as old as time. It's what happens. Chaos Lord actually does fuck. They're cute. Yeah, they do give off a little bit of a cute vibe, don't they? Thick shaft syndrome. Hey, it's not all bad. Anyway, so I'm excited to see these, and I haven't seen them yet. Remember that breakfast tier list I did yesterday? Well, I had one of those. I made myself one of those. And I did that instead of look at any of the leaks before right now. Except for the roadmap. Because I would need to, if there was some sort of update to the roadmap, I would need to like be talking and mention it as part of a narrative. And so I checked that one. Errata is a genus of tangleweb spiders with almost 600 described species around the world. Notable species are the Hawaiian happy-faced spider. Really? No cap, huh? Named for the iconic symbol on its abdomen. And T. Ogroid therodons. Okay. Ogre spiders confirmed. For anybody who's into that. That being said, there is an extra I here. This is Theridion, and this is Therodon, so... But Games Workshop is known for taking a literal... Well, taking a pun or just saying what something is and changing a single letter. So it's a little bit more of a joke, but still a reference. False positive, percent chance, based on GW's previous wordplay, 5%. Potential false positive alert based on what I think they're going to do with a sculpt like this, 50%. Oh, big. Hold up. Enhance. Chaos Chosen with the pound hammer. Dude, their armor is sick looking. And they... You know what? They really do have a big frame. A large, meaty frame look to them. Thick armor plates. Good spikes and stuff. Nice pose. Exalted Champion. They still got a drummer, which is kind of weird, but alright. Nice staff. Alright. Chaos Chosen are awesome. From what I can see on this potato picture, I'm giving them a 9 out of 10. I'm a big fan. Although having like a drummer is kind of weird. But I understand, it's part of the thing. We're the deadliest warriors of chaos. Here's our drum. Yeah, just bang, bang. It's like those videos where they take some animation where someone is drumming and then they have an actual drummer hit the notes when the animation shows and have what it really sounds like instead of the music they overlay on it. It's one of those. I mean, he's not exactly Coma the Doof warrior over here. paint your head here. Yeah, there you go. Man, these guys are awesome. I'm a big fan. To me, the upgraded Chaos Warriors were a 10 out of 10. These guys are a 9 out of 10. That is to say, I'm extremely pleased with them. Next. Aw, shit. It's a brand new Demon Lord with a dumb face. I say dumb, but it's a style. The pulled back lips kind of stuff going on, like there is precedent for this. Doesn't this guy feel a little 40k with that armor? He feels just a little bit more 40k on this armor than what I'm used to with AOS. Yeah, it's supposed to be a creepy face. And I think we saw part of these wings and people wear hopium on Valkia the Bloody. I don't know if it's RIP hopium, but it does look like he's wearing someone's flesh on his face. It's supposed to be creepy and unnerving. It is. I don't know how much I like these fangs and stuff coming out of his chest plate, but it's just something I'm going to have to see in real life. His armor looks cool, good hooves, nice weapon here, great wings. He seems to be kind of big. Since it's a demon prince, historically they have come with a million alternative bits. You can make a Nurgle one, you can make a Khorne one, you know, so on and so forth. This must be the... I was about to say this one is looking a little bit more Khorne than the rest of them, but it's probably just because I'm seeing notes of red. What am I going to call this one? Maybe a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 is still pretty good, though. And there's a lot about it I like. But still just, it's a 6. It's a 6 for me. I'm much more excited about these sculpts than this one. But great wings, good weapon, alright pose, understandably weird face. I don't know if I'm digging the armor too much. Yeah, 6 out of 10. The old one was like a it was like a 2 out of 100, says BV. You are right. The old one was hella shit. This one's obviously way better. It's an improvement on the jank old school. Oh, of course. Should we? Do we dare? This is where we came from. All right. Let's just put it into perspective here. This is where we came from. And this is where we live. So, I call this a 6 out of 10. But, we came from a 2 out of 100. So, okay. I'll take it. Next. Oh, we get a war scroll? Move 8, wounds 10, save 3 up 10 bravery. I believe that's what they were before. Demonic Axe, 2-inch range, 2-inch range, 1-inch range. 5, 3, 3, 2, 2, 5, 3, 4, 1, D3. Slays Darkness Demon Prince is armed with one of the following weapon options. Demonic Axe, Hellforged Sword, Malefic Talons. In addition, it has one of the following. Wings or Trophy Rack. Alright, choose now. They got 2 wounds. Oh, they used to be on 8. Yeah, okay. I messed up. You're right, they did used to be on 8. Isn't 10 wounds the worst amount? It is. Whether or not it's worth an 8 is maybe up for a debate, but it's certainly worse than 9. The reason 10 wounds sucks, by the way, is you can't get Lookout Sword, and You won't fit into battalions, which is annoying. You have to like count as one of the big heroes for battalions, which is super annoying. Ahem. $83302, huh? So these are all, it's not each, it's not two of, it's just one of each of these. Why wouldn't I use the demonic axe? Perhaps there's rules later that even things out. The mounted skulls of fallen foes. If this unit has a trophy rack, do not take battle shock tests for friendly units older than 9. In addition, each time an enemy, hero, or monster is destroyed by this unit in the same turn. Increase the range of this ability by 3. Oh, the dong expands, huh? Cool. So you can either fly or be a little battle shock Death Star thing. That's fun. Good choice. The unit has a ward of 6 up. Hellforged Sword. If the unmodified hit roll for an attack made by the sword is 6, it's D3 mortal wounds, and the attack sequence ends. Oh, huh. Alright. You can carry out one of the following heroic actions with this unit instead of any other heroic actions you can carry out with it. Alright. Okay, well, Corn players waiting with bated breath. Can you still blood slick ground? Or I guess we'll have to find out. Next slide, please. Fiendish Speed. Until end of the turn, the strike first effect applies to this unit. Okay, so you got, I was about to say they used to have strike first. So you can still have strike first if you want, but now there are other choices. Pledge of Skulls. Until the end of the turn, each time an enemy model is slain by wounds allocated from attacks made by this unit, heal 1 wound allocated to this unit. It's trash. Alright. Eldritch Architect. If it is the enemy hero phase, you can roll a die each time a spell targets this unit. On a 2-up, it has no effect. If it's your hero phase, this unit can attempt to cast 1 spell from the lore of the damned. In the same manner as a wizard, if this unit is already a wizard, the spell is in addition to any others it can attempt to cast. Eroding Miasma. Until the end of the turn, ward rolls cannot be made for enemy units while they are within 3 of this unit. Interesting. It's like a silver bullet choice that you would want to make on deployment instead of necessarily like in your when you're writing your list. And then Ecstatic Carnage. If this unit makes a charge move this turn, add 1 of the attack's characteristic units. Well, okay. Are any of these like exciting? The fact that they're hero actions is very unexciting. Hero actions are something you're already using, so now it becomes, it's not really like you got something here, it's like an exchange. You are trading. Fiendish Speed seems good if you want this thing to fight, which looking at its profile, you kind of don't. It's not really here for damage, although actually maybe it is. Slaves to Darkness's buffs are some of the best in the game. So there's that. If you send it after Chaff, Korn can heal himself up a little bit, I guess. Extra unbinds ain't bad. Well, no, it's not extra unbinds. It's specifically if they are targeted with a spell, which they generally just won't be. I mean, making it a wizard is probably the choice. Until the end of the turn, ward rolls cannot be made for enemy units while they are within 3 of this unit. I feel like this ability is a trap for people that complain about ward rolls all the time. And when they start putting stuff like this in their army list beforehand, and then playing 5 games in a row, they'll start to realize how few wards are actually still in the game. And then aesthetic kind of just like whatever. Okay, so Zinch 1 wins. Obviously, it's going to depend on a whole lot of other stuff, right? I don't know how deep this leak go. Okay, it doesn't go much deeper, but like, we don't know battle traits. We don't know if they're getting extra stuff like they used to, what part of what thing they're in. But from the information that we know right now, Zinch 1 makes it a wizard. And it can cast a lore spell. So that's better than all this other crap. Except maybe fight first if you want this thing to be a fighter, but it doesn't particularly look like a fighter. It looks like a buff wagon. Is Legion of the First Prince still a thing? Let's scroll up to potato picture number 1. Legion's abilities, battle traits, enhancements, command traits. It doesn't actually pair it out. It does talk about the Damned Legions, Be'lakor, the Dark Master here, in the lore section of Damned Legions, but I'm not sure. "13 attacks in total ain't bad." What do you mean? It's got... you have to choose one of these 3. Period. As far as I read it. It's one of these. Ahem. Choose one of the following: Demonic Axe, semicolon, or Hellforged Sword, semicolon, or Malefic Talons. One profile. It's not a fighter. It's probably in the Damned Legions. So, I mean, you take the axe, but this dude is not like a fighter. You get one of these 3. He's not for fighting. Yeah, he's yuck. He used to be weapon plus talons, yeah, which surprised me when I read it. It should be weapon plus talon, agree. Makes me self-conscious about all those war scrolls that I was writing up. About all those war scrolls I was doing for custom ogres. Am I making those too good? Let's be honest, every fan tome is overpowered. But I'm trying not to make mine eye-rolly. I'll put it that way. New Chosen look lit. New DP looks shit. I was nicer. I think he looks okay. I'm very pleased with the Chaos Chosen. I think these guys are awesome. Big fan. This dude, I see what they were doing with the face and how it looks like stretched skin, and they got the, gums pulled back here, and it's creepy and everything, but I would give him I would make a head swap on this guy, and then you're fine. Also, Horse Lord. Horse Gang rise up. Chaos Lord on Daemonic Mount. Looking like a draft horse, kind of beefy horse here. An homage to a classic Archaon, I think, on horseback. Great helmet, proper fur all around the collar there. Holding a similarly looking hammer. Yeah, Rao stomping in, like Rao fighting you, and he doesn't even dismount, but he's fighting you hand to hand. This is awesome. I need to see a better photo of it. and different angles and stuff, but so far 9 out of 10. Easy. The shit is awesome. Yeah, the old Archeon, a little bit of an, well, not quite, it's not the full Napoleon, it's like a half Napoleon. You'd be surprised if the kit has less than 3 heads. I would too, Colvin Mark. Because the original ones, the kit, where's the, usually they show, is it down here? Yeah, so there's like all sorts of different options to make, oh, here's your Zinch one, here's your Corn one, you know, here's your Undivided, there's some Nurgle stuff, right? So usually the older version has a bunch of different options because you're supposed to be able to make one of each type. And so I would imagine that this one has similar. And so the fact that I don't happen to like this face, well, there's probably 3 heads or 4 heads. Perhaps there's 1 head per, you know. So that's why I'm not too like, I'm not banged up about it. You wanted Build-A-Demon? It might. This doesn't mean it's not Build-A-Demon. It just means this is what they've built. Old fly head, please. Yeah. Next stage in this year's Armies on Parade is all about gods of war. Get ready to grow your force. I know who will be in my... Oh, alright. So we're posting our Twitter. You should have said ratio. You should have said grow this ratio. L. And then had people click on it. That's what you should have done. But, pretty good. Finally. New roadmap. For those of you who, like me, thought it was going to be Skaven next on the Chaos Battle Tome, it might still be. This one's jumping in line a little bit, real quick. This one cut in line for leaks, but it's, you know, they just wanted you to know, hey, it's not next. Ratio plus L plus not blessed by all 4 Chaos Gods, right? Yeah. Also, Chorf's confirmed. I mean, there supposedly, it seems to be that there will be a Warcry warband coming out with them. If to you that means confirmed, then okay. And now we play the game. The game of no one having any information. But wouldn't it be cool if this Battle Tome came out? So we got Chaos and Order coming next. Most people seem to think Skaven. I was thinking either Skaven or maybe Slaves to Darkness. Turns out I was half right. That's coming in the winter. No, it's Chorfs. Oh, okay. Is that it? It's straight up Chorfs. I see. What if it's Beast of Chaos? Good. They have a very old book, which I know doesn't mean too much. Ahem. Oh yeah, I saw on Twitter, whilst I was posting that I was going to go live, I saw someone looking at this picture, and they're like, there's no Beasts of Chaos in here. They're not souping them together. Do people think this? I have heard the rumor of Beasts of Chaos are getting souped into Slaves to Darkness for like 6 years. And it seems to just be something somebody keeps saying. And I don't know why anyone thinks that it's going to happen or why it's possible. I know that some people thought it might happen. But people have thought it might happen for 5, maybe 6 years now, and it hasn't. Also, BOC is a humongous range. It's so huge that like I would consider the size of the BOC model range to be evidence that they wouldn't soup it in with something else. That itself has a pretty big model range. Unless they're going to squat half of each of them or something like that. Anyway, I never gave it much credence. And nothing has changed my mind. It's been a thing since Warhammer fan. Oh, it's a rumor or maybe an idea that has transcended games. Okay, interesting. They soup small ranges together, not big ones. Usually, sometimes what happens is there's a medium size range and it absorbs a small one, like a white blood cell, like what happened with Gloomspite Gietz. And sometimes there's two smallish, medium-ish ones that reabsorb, but usually not two big ones. Laughs in Fire Slayers, yeah. How do you kill an idea? You call it cringe, and then everyone's like, oh, you got me. So many people are betting on KO and Fire Slayers being soup too because the Duard Razhal stuff. Yeah. I was really hoping that was not true. And so far I'm pleased that it seems to be the case. That it's not. So, yeah, people were thinking for a while, or maybe they weren't thinking, they were just like, I wonder if this is going to happen or not, or what if it did. That like, everything that's a dwarf is just in a big book now because you're all dwarves. Even though Fire Slayers are like so fucking different than KO, which are so different than Dispossessed. I would hate that. I don't like that. Keep armies unique and special. You don't need to water them down in that manner to me. But now I'm just talking about what I want, not what I think will happen. Because people are like, well, if you put them all in a soup book, then the Anvil unit that you've always wanted in your KO, now you can play that. And I'm like, well, does Ironjaws like need shooting really? They feel like they want it because it's something their army doesn't have. But I think it's much healthier for armies to have strengths and weaknesses. And it's okay to like not have X if Y is a little better. And also allying in some other army's things so that now you're a well-rounded army doesn't feel as good as using your own stuff and being just as strong, in my opinion. Do you think the Demon Prince was a Warhammer Fest reveal? Swallows. It would be great content if it were. When we are watching the Warhammer Fest reveals, what is it? Next week? 2 weeks from now? Live, twitch.tv/Heywoah. And we're watching the Warhammer stream and just talking over it. If it's the Demon Prince, god damn. I got a bingo slot all ready for that one. It's going to be awesome. That would be great. What if it's not the reveal, but it's clear that it was, and they just slapped something on there at the last minute? Anyway, it would make good content, and I would appreciate it. Everyone wants to be Kawamami's special boy. I'm 12, and so I don't know what you're talking about. But, true. Tauren Rogues confirmed for next expansion? Yeah, right around the corner. Hey, they got Paladins, though. That thing came true. What did you make of the Demon Prince's face? Smash or pass? Great question. Looks like it got smashed, and then it got passed. You think they'll keep them separate? Not only do they seem to have a focus to keep armies unique, but fiscally GW makes more money off of us buying 3 books instead of 1. I mean, I suppose. He's got some pretty teeth. Hey, teeth game is pretty strong. They are surprisingly white teeth. Okay, they're not particularly white, but my comment stands. They are still surprisingly white for what this creature is. But let's look at Paul Allen's news page. And this is the news page that was posted today after those leaks came out. Glean some more information? Or perhaps less? Let's find out. New Battle Tome and Demon Prince unfurled. Oh, sorry, hold on. Enhance. The fickle winds of fate have revealed a dark and baleful power gathered in the heart of the realms of chaos. Yes, with a great sigh. Yes, Battletome Slays the Darkness is on its way. Archaon's armies are riding out from the 8 points to stoke the fires of chaos, lay claim to the mortal realms with an iron gauntlet in the name of the ruinous powers. Hold on, iron gauntlet. I put that in my Twitter story. They copied me in this article that's been finished for probably 4 or 5 weeks. New Battle Tome also heralds new miniatures, lots and lots of spiky new miniatures, and the crowning jewel of this release is an all-new Demon Prince, who towers above the mortals under his command. Disagree. Of all the new models that I've seen, this one is by far the least impressive. However, you can probably customize it a lot, so that's fine. I'm sure he's got many heads like the old versions do. This mutated creature has been blessed with many-fold malevolent gifts, received in reward for walking the eightfold path. His gory feat has led to the ultimate prize, immortal demonhood. There's more to this miniature than meets the eye, but you'll have to... Oh, here it is. The sentence, right? There's more to this miniature than meets the eye, which is them telling us that, like the old one, you could build, you know, all the different types of them. You want your Nurgle Demon Prince, you want or something. To me, that's what this is saying here. But you'll have to stay tuned to Warhammer Community next week for more information. Or Twitter, apparently. And then you'll get that information a little bit quicker. Before the rampaging hordes of chaos reach us, you can look forward to the treasure trove of Warhammer Age of Sigmar releases arriving in the coming months. We even have a shiny new roadmap. Got 'em. I love roadmaps. I just like them. They let us know what's coming next, even if leaks happen and accidentally we hear about something 6 tomes before we should. Ahem. What have we gotten this year? We got Nurgle. We got Fierce Slayers. We got, I don't know, aka IDK. SBGL was technically the last Death Tome we got for 3rd edition, and for once I'm gonna agree with Games Workshop. I've heard the Song and Dance before that they designed a Battle Tome with X edition in mind when it was just about to come out, and it didn't quite seem to be the case before. But with Soul Blight, I really think it was. I'm convinced. How many books this year alone? 12? This is a lot of... It's a lot of Age of Sigmar. Nighthaunt, Daughters, Skaven probably. Sylvaneth? Question mark? Cities, maybe? Khorne probably. Ogors and Geats. And then Slaves to Darkness. Oh yeah, Lumineth 3. I forgot. You're right. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty likely on that one as well. Okay. Yeah. I forgot Lumina 3, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Fire and or Water Tome should be coming out. Why not have a third book before people have gotten their second? Yeah, it's actually 3 and 4. And so this one is the fire, right? And so you have earth, you have wind, and you have fire. And then this one will not be water. It's some other element, just to let you know that there's way more than 4 on the way. Yeah, double Destros in autumn. Big. So I'm thinking it's ogres and Geats. Because I think that's the only possible choices there can be. Hold up, let's look. Unless it's a brand new Sons of Behemoth, which I guess it could be. But if it was a brand new Sons of Behemoth, it would probably come with a model, and I don't know if they're ready to unfurl a brand new Mega Gargant. I suppose they could give us updated Man Crusher Gargants, so we have ones that aren't revoltingly awful. So I guess that could happen. That's a possibility. But I'm thinking ogres, and I'm thinking Geats. And I'm excited for ogres because it's the army I play. And I'm excited for Geats because I got a whole bunch of people into Geats because they're hilarious and their sculpts are beautiful. And they've never been even remotely fun to play or good in the entire history of the game. And while that is a bit of an exaggeration, I'm looking forward to the Geats gamers rising up and finally getting the silly fun that they signed up for. Do them right this time. And let's keep the bingo out of the battle tomes and for the Twitch streams where we're watching reveals. How about? It'll be Geats and Behemoth just to spite you. I wouldn't even be mad. Take your time. I'll wait an extra 3 months. If that's the time you need to spend to make a real good ogre battle tome, take your time. That's fine. I'll wait 3 months. I'll wait 6 months. Just do a good job. I will remain unbothered, moisturized in my element, etc. New destruction faction. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that. Well, a whole bunch of stuff really does need to be updated. They could just come out with something brand new and tell all that old stuff to fuck off for a little bit. Hams fan, thanks for the tier 1. Oh, and a hats off, sure. Go for brand hat. I hit the mic. I apologize, headphone users, if that was loud. Anyway, Hams fan TY for the sub, I appreciate it. You blame Heywoah for your mountain of gits? People have told me that. Some of the messages weren't particularly kind. I watched your video on gits and they looked awesome, and then I bought them. And I keep losing. And I'm not having any fun. And I'm like, well, while I did sing their praises in the video, I didn't very much sing their, like, this army is powerful praises. I think I was pretty precise about that. But then also I'm talking about a version of Gits from 3 years ago in a different edition, and so you just can't expect the videos to age like that. Also, apologies. Gits good. Good one, actually. Finishing up Scragrot the Loon King. Funky sculpt. Yeah, they're super fun. Their sculpts are so flavorful. Ogre Tome written for 4.0 in mind? Well, we'll see. We'll see about it. So far, AOS doesn't have the power creep problem 40k has. So you wanting your army's book to come out as late as possible isn't so much a thing. Right, Dr. Dead. Well, it's true, I think anyway, that Age of Sigmar just doesn't seem to have the 40k power creep problem. The newest book isn't guaranteed to be the most powerful thing in the game. In fact, it's almost certainly not. It's like the exception. Sometimes the new book is literally less powerful than the old one. Like with Slaanesh. The reason I want them to take their time isn't because I'm trying to, like, get in the last word on some power creep timeline. That's not where I'm coming from. I want them to take their time on the book because I don't want it to suck from a fun perspective. And what units and strategies can I play with in this book, and what units and strategies are just like clearly they were rushed and they didn't have time to devote any effort to it, and so it's just phoned in and trash and you're not going to play it, and so the shit just sits on your shelf as Thunder Tusks have since the end of first edition almost, right? Like, if people like Gutbusters, if people like Lead Belchers, if people like Iron Guts, if people like Mournfang, if people like Thunder Tusks, I feel like you should reasonably be able to play that and not be terrifically awful.
Oh, 69, nice.
And so I'm giving them an extra 3 months or whatever, not because I want my army to be powerful, it's because I want them to do a good job, like they did with Daughters of Cain in that battle tome, where everything really does feel like good. You can play anything in that book and be quote-unquote good. Perhaps the best list in that book is, you know, maybe a little too far above the waterline or whatever, and, you know, double shooting snake ladies probably too good or whatever. But the point is that if you're like a quote-unquote casual player or an average player, you can choose just about anything in Daughters, and your army is functionally good. And I like that. Anyway, Rob74, thanks for the $6.90. Oh, 69, nice. Yeah. That's the, hey, good comment. Thanks for the donation. I appreciate it. Orterius, thanks for the 25 bits. Double shooting scrap launchers. You know what I have done with scrap launchers? Brad Pitlord, if I may, just a moment. What I've done with scrap launchers. So this is my Noblar scrap launcher. This is what I've done with them. And I'll leave it up on screen. If you guys can you read that? Should I enhance? I'll enhance. This is the beta test version of Noblar Scrap Launcher for custom ogres. And I'm going to catch up on comments at this point. You need some motivation to start painting your pile of Zinchian shame. How do you usually motivate yourself on projects? Hisi Hazah, 99. That's a great question. I haven't painted a model for over 1 calendar year. So, to answer your question of how do I motivate myself to paint on projects, I simply don't. I do other stuff instead, because I have to. I'm either doing contract work, or I'm streaming, or I'm taking an entire day writing custom war scrolls for the next stream or the next video, or I'm writing lists that are the most powerful that they've ever been in Age of Sigmar, trying to wrangle up that tournament, or any number of other things, right? And then finally, when I have some time to myself, and I'm going to take a break or whatever, I play Diablo 2 or something. I just don't paint a lot. So I can't tell you a good strategy for motivating yourself to paint, because I don't. I like painting when I do, and I've painted stuff before, but I haven't really bought any new miniatures in a long time, and I'm busy. So Vince Venturella is in the chat. He manages to motivate himself to paint near constantly. So perhaps he'd be a better person to ask, or one of the painters in the chat. That being said, like, painting is supposed to be something that you want to do. Like, I don't need to motivate myself to play Diablo 2 because I've been installing Diablo 2 every year or so on whatever new computer I get for 20 years. 23 years. Because it's like my favorite old game. And I don't need to like motivate myself to do that because I intrinsically want to because I just like the game a lot. If you have to like motivate and like force yourself to like it's a chore or something. I mean, are you one of those people who really likes having painted something, but you know, you gotta, it kind of feels like work sometimes during it? Or do you have an army that you just need to finish? Deadlines are good for that. Break a big goal up into many smaller sub goals with timelines associated to it, I guess. Maybe every time you watch a Heywoah stream, you say, okay, I can only watch Heywoah if I'm painting. You know? Like, oh, Heywoah stream, that's the painting time. I'll paint, there'll be just this noise in the background. Oh wait, maybe that's bad advice. Maybe then you'll just stop watching me and still not paint. Well, I guess. Any of these advices, I suppose, mine are really basic. Hey, well, were you doing a mild amount of mischief in Iron Mouse's chat the other day? I don't know who that is. Also, I'm 12. You felt like you spotted a cryptid? Also, any plans to update the Every Army in X Minutes video with the new release? Yes. In fact, I'm basically done with the script, and one of these mornings, I'm gonna wake up and record it. So, I mean, hey, look forward to it. Record what? Every Army in X Minutes, like the new version. For 3rd edition, with including Sons of Behemoth, including the way any of the playstyles changed on all the armies. Plus I got a little fun section at the end of each of them, where it's like new player tip, and then it just says to watch some movie that has to do with the army, you know? I took the offhanded comment I made on the first one, where it was like, new player tip for Fire Slayers, watch 300 the movie, you'll be fine. And I'm like, hey, what if I did that for every army? So then I did that for every army. And I like to think that they're linked up pretty nicely with the theme or the feeling of the army. I might not be able to remember all of them offhand, but if anyone cares to ask about their favorite army, what movie they should watch, I guess I could say so, and then you could tell me I'm wrong, and then I could change it before the video came out. What's the Sylvaneth one? I can't remember. That's like one of the ones I can't remember. Shit. What movie for IDK? Aina Deepkin is Zatoichi. Skaven is The Secret of Nim. Slaves to Darkness is Metalocalypse. Sylvaneth is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. You know I have seen that. And I also watched the cartoon of it. Oh wait, Sylvaneth is Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind. Stormcast is Kill Die Repeat. Or what's the eventual Edge of Tomorrow? Manga better? True. So I was wondering, I didn't know whether I would want to just name the manga or name the movie. KO I've been waffling between. I'm thinking Steam Boy, the Katsuhiro Otomo movie. Cruel Boys is... I can't remember Cruel Boys. Yeah, I remember Fern Gully. And the Slime song, god damn. Slime song is sensual. Stormcast has to be Braveheart. No, Seduce of Sigmar is Lord of the Rings Extended Edition. Just watch that. Disciples of Zinch. What was Disciples of Zinch? I can't recall. Blind Fury with Rutger Hauer was based on Zatoichi? Yeah, it was. I don't know Legion of the First Prince. I may or may not have even said one for that. No, I think I did. I just can't remember. Decisive was Zinch's Pie, good one. I forgot about that one. Man, I remember watching that movie when it came out, and I'm like, this is the next genius filmmaker. And then I watched the rest of his movies. And I no longer thought that. Big nostalgia. What was Stormcast? Edge of Tomorrow with Tommy Cruise. Ecstasy in Service. Mr. Woe, I noticed that you have not uploaded any videos in a hot minute. True. We're just talking about the next one that's coming out. Have you become a full-time streamer? No. I only stream 4 days a week, which I don't consider full-time. I'm still doing editing contracts for other people, producers and YouTube stuff, in my off time. So I'm a part-time, I guess half-time streamer, you would call it. Half-time streaming, half-time editing for other people. And when I can fit stuff in there, working on YouTube, which doesn't happen a lot, but every week I end up spending like a day on it. Heywoah Plus has a bunch of VOD stuff, which is nice. And so I set that up so that at least people can watch something. I feel like one of them needs to be Mad Max. True. Mad Max Fury Road, I think, is Iron Jaws. I think Iron Jaws is Mad Max Fury Road. And Old Boy is Slanesh. And I haven't seen The Northman. And KO, I don't know. I'm kind of waffling about KO. It was going to be Steam Boy by Katsuhiro Otomo. But first of all, nobody saw that. Second of all, it probably wasn't that good. Third of all, Steam Boy, even though it shouldn't matter, like it sounds kind of dumb because of the boy in there. And its message is kind of counter the entire like capitalistic, obsessive, libertarian pirate thing of KO. So I guess I don't know. Maybe Wolves Reign, but then again, that's like more alternative history, cruel, evil stuff, and not so much about KO. It just has guns in it. KO is probably my weakest reference. Any interest in FAQ review? Yeah, I have that queued up as well, SG Arcade. We are going to be doing that. Hey, B-Dubs83, I appreciate the gifter. Thanks a lot. Treasure Planet. E.G. the Killer would be an okay Slanesh one. Yeah, that's true too. I just want people to see original Old Boy because I love that movie. Atlas Shrugged. I don't have any children's movies in my recommendations. Tranquil Turnip. Waterworld. That's it. We're in. All right. I'm making a note. I'm making a note to myself. It's obviously Waterworld. How could I be so blind? That fucking movie. I had forgotten about that one. And it's suitably booming. Waterworld KO question mark? Alright, good suggestion. The Rocketeer was my old suggestion before Steam Boy, DK Reitzberg. But a great callback too. Rocketeer is one of those near perfect movies, in my opinion. Although I haven't seen it, so I don't know if it... Or I haven't seen it recently. I don't know if it aged poorly. KO is Glengarry Glen Ross. I could do that too. That's a good one. Classic. You need to make a Noblar hero that makes this shoot in the hero phase too? No. There will be no shooting twice a turn. It's intrinsically overpowered. And so if I'm writing a custom battle tome, I'm not going to include things that I feel are intrinsically overpowered, like shooting twice a turn for any reason. You can buff shooting, but doubling the damage of some shooting unit is either going to be problematically strong, which it is half of the time, or it means that if it's not shooting twice a turn, it is so terrifically shit that it's useless unless you take that thing. And then it's only okay. So I feel like shooting any more than once a turn is essentially something I'm not going to do. It's off the table. You can do a lot of other things. And so this is fun because you can catapult a unit of 20 Noblars, pick them up, and then roll a die. On a 1 through 4, they teleport within 30 and suffer some mortal wounds. And on a 5 up, they crash into an enemy unit, deal half their number in mortal wounds, and then all die. And so, for almost every ability that is one of those, you know, once a game roll a die, or, you know, some incredibly important, you know, you're paying a cost sort of roll a die thing, I always want the failure condition to be kind of good just in a different way. Rarely do I want to put in an ability that's of any actual importance or significance and be like, roll a die, on a 4 up you totally win, and on a 1 to 3 the dude kills himself. Like, I think that's essentially just like a bad feeler all around. I like, you know, on a 1 through 4 it does what you probably want. But if you quote unquote fail that roll, it does something else, but still cool. And I know I was circling the what you probably want and talking about the teleport, but let's be honest, what you want is to deal 10 mortal wounds with a squad of Noblars, and then they all die. But what's a Groinboide? The leader of a unit of a Noblar gang. The champion model. I didn't make that up either. The champion of a Noblar unit in current Ogres is actually called a Groinbiter. I didn't make it up, I'm just using terminology. I decided to still keep their attacks completely useless and skippable, but I reduced their numbers at least. They are chaff, but they're chaff that can gain the movement characteristic of the things they're chaffing for if you kill one of them. So they don't like box you in, you know, on your fast things you're chaffing for. And you can still make them battle shock immune by killing some of them. And when someone kills stuff in this unit, you can have the thing that dies be the groin biter. And then why is he called that? Well, he bites him at the groin. And that unit suffers D3 mortal wounds and has a -1 penalty to movement characteristic for the rest of the game. And then if the unit is destroyed before removing it from play, if any of its models are within 6 of your Great Maw Pod, you can toss them in. So they still, like, they don't participate in combat. They die to everything. But that's what they currently are. And this unit is actually good, I'm going to argue. This is like 120 points, maybe, for 20 of them. 0 damage. Die to everything. And yet they're good, because there are different ways to be good in the game than participating in the mechanics of combat and damage and stuff. And so you can make them battle shock immune. They're chaff that's just as fast as whatever it is that they're chaffing for. They have a debuff they can apply, and you can choose when the groin biter dies, you know, to issue it. And they fill your pot back up. Kind of handy. You like the idea of keeping track of casualties in the Mawpot recipes as a minigame? So the minigame, I already have a recipe minigame, and I have something to keep track of for the Mawpot already. But I also like that. So, for instance, speaking of that, your spell lore is a cookbook. You are gourmand culinary casters. And so each of your spells is essentially a recipe made out of that race that you killed and made stuff out of. And then they have effects that are kind of similar to what that race does. And so you have Cream of Corn is your damage one, Storm Casserole is your ranged damage one, Realm Lord Ribeye turns something into monsters, Deepkin Deep Dish makes you slimy and harder to hit, Kyric Big Brain Bisque allows you to cheat at the game, and Flesh Eater Fondue improves your hunger and eating bonuses. And so that kind of stuff is fun, I think. Anyway, this isn't a custom tome show, but I just wanted to give a tidbit. Gruesome yet delicious. What would hypothetical Gloomspite Gumbo do? Let me see. Is it a buff? Is it a debuff? I wonder. It gives you the runs. It +1 attack, then you die, yeah. I would have to consider like what spell does what does the army need? Well, okay, ignoring that. Usually what I would do if I'm making a spell for an army, I type like, okay, what does this army want? It wants a damage buff, it wants a range damage buff, it wants a protection spell, it wants a movement spell, you know. It wants this stuff. Now, what is it allowed to have? What is it not allowed to have? Well, it's not allowed to have a teleport. It's not allowed to have a debuff. It's not allowed to have more than 2 damage buffs that stack with each other or whatever, you know. And then once I figured all that out, I'm like, okay, is there any particular combo that would be fun for this to be able to play around, right? So something like, hold up. So like, what are the builds that I'm trying to intend here? Like in which one of, like, okay, we have a start collecting special. Let's make sure that's playable and good. What if they go all in on like Smash Bat Clown Fiesta heroes? What if they're the type of player who only likes Iron Guts and they have a big Iron Guts army and a bunch of tyrants? Well, let's have that be playable. What if they want to spam Gluttons and Wizards? What if they want to be an all-shooting army? What if they actually have Noblars and want to play them? And so I'm thinking like, okay, what are the different ways that someone would want to play this army? And I'll make sure there's stuff in there that buffs / facilitates or synergizes with that strategy that isn't so strong that some other strategy, while including that one thing, is just going to be better or something like that. You're the Iron Guts guy? Yeah, and there are Iron Guts guys. And so I wanted it to be possible to just play Iron Guts instead of just play Gluttons. However, one of the issues that I ran into, which was actually really tricky to fix, was in a world where Gluttons are any good at all, they're just going to be better than Iron Guts because they're intrinsically like way more durable. And in a world where Iron Guts aren't fragile glass cannons, they're way better than Gluttons. And so you have these two unit types that are too close to stepping on each other's toes about what they're supposed to be doing. If Gluttons are just pure anvils, right? Then Iron Jaws are probably going to be your glass cannon damage. And if that's the case, I can see you skewing one way or the other, and it's usually the other. And I want to have both of them be like reasonable. And so it took a whole lot of different, artifacts and command traits and subfaction ideas and war scroll stuff. And building funny little lists just in theorycraft mode to see, okay, how is this going to look? Load up Druchii Violet. What kind of damage are we looking at here? What kind of damage are we looking at there? Checking other units in other armies. All right, how does this stack up with that? Brutish Orc, thanks for the big primer. I appreciate it. Their comment is yup. Yeah, there you go. Hey, wasn't there another news thing, though? Hold up. Before we start talking about custom ogres again, because I've been doing all the war scrolls on it. Wasn't there news? Wasn't there other news? Hold up. We had Errata. We had Errata to look at. I'll press the news button. They snuck in some Errata a few days ago. Yeah, other news. So first of all, we have a Battletome Slaves to Darkness Errata update. Page 88, Archaon the Everchosen, replace this war scroll with the one in this document. Please note that the damage table has now been corrected. All right, they did it. They absolutely did it. If anyone has seen my... I do this every time an FAQ comes out for fun. We do a little FAQ react segment. And just to check the tapes, I'll show you if I have it available, which I think I do. Here we go. And hey, I like stingers. We're checking the tapes.
And we take a look at the tail of the tape.
Some of them may be involved with exotic stuff, like dark matter.
An ABC News Brief brought to you by Michelob Light Beer. Now from Washington, Sandra Van Oger.
All right, Sandra Van Oger. What was the old Archaon War Scroll that they're talking about here? What was it? Well, this is from the Gods and Heroes December 2021 update, where they changed rules and gave new war scrolls, and it was awesome. They did another balance update later this year where they said they could not change rules or points or war scrolls, and it wasn't awesome. So I'm hoping they go back to doing what they used to do, because I like this one. The Conductor, hey, thanks for the big primer. I appreciate it. This particular damage table, wounds suffered 0 to 8, 9 to 11, 12 to 14, and 16? Uh-oh. What do? You can't just have it stay 10-inch move because it suffered 15 wounds, right? 15 is not for... What do? There's So, most people just stayed at 10. But now, 12 to 15. There it is. Yeah, clearly it's top bracket, right? Yeah. There's actually no answer to that question if you're just being really strict about rules, right? Because very clearly it's 0 to 8. And so you only get this if you have 0 to 8. So there being nothing here for 15, if you're going to be a robot that's trying to mechanically check everything, it would just have probably movement characteristic would read error. And the 3 heads attacks would read error, and you couldn't do anything. Obviously, being a thinking person, you're just like, yeah, it's 10. But it's nice that they fixed this. I appreciate it. Yeah, it took over a year to fix this typo, right? Yeah. But I got to do a funny Backrooms meme, which I was surprised that so few people had knew about that creepypasta. But, hey, I'm weird, so every once in a while I'm reminded I'm weird, and we're good. Anyway, the Conductor had an actual question with their big primer. Finally, some big news, thoughts on the Battletome roadmap. Talked about it an hour ago. Apologies. Any big predictions? Yeah. Talked about it an hour ago. But I'll summarize. You gave me $2.50. I'll summarize. People think Skaven, including me. We have no source. Maybe Sylvaneth? Question mark. Not sure. Some people seem to think Lumineth 3, which would be pretty insulting to a lot of people that would be very pretend mad about it online. I don't care though. This one, probably Khorne. These two, Ogres and Gits, if I had to guess. This one, definitely Slaves to Darkness. And there it is. Hail Mary, absolute hopium. You're in a hopi-bolic chamber, just coming in from the vents, alright? This battle tome is Chorfs. There you go. Where were we? Source? Oh yeah, here's the source.
Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
There you go. You can quote me on it. Anyway, that's the only STD update. So, yeah, you fixed a typo. But the real news is that you have an entire battle tome to look forward to this winter. Huzzah. Awesome. That's great. Next. The next, Errata. Fire Slayers. If a friendly Fire Slayer model is slain within 12 of multiple Auric Flame Keepers, does the dice beside all of the Auric Flame Keepers in range increase by 1? The answer is obviously no, because similar questions like this were asked of OBR, and they said absolutely not. Oh, never mind, it's yes. Cool. Alright. Hey, congratulations. Also, the Battlesmith. The one we've all been assuming was going to happen. It did. If this unit issues the rally command to a friendly Fire Slayer's unit, you can return one slain model to the unit that receives this command on a 4-up instead of a 6. Notice that they put the Fire Slayer's keyword in there. Which I want to say we knew they would, but it was possible they didn't notice or something like that, I guess. This is good. I like this change. It's the proper change. People who wanted Fire Slayers to become absolute clown fiesta of allies regenerating just fucking anything instead of Fire Slayers, insanity. Get that shit out of here. Resist and destroy all soup that you see, for it is evil. Anyway, this is a good change. And I'm very happy that they made it Fire Slayers like they should have. Only good things here, I guess. This one's kind of weird. But I don't think these guys are particularly good anyway, so it's fine. Anyway, that's that update. Oh, ad time? Sure, I'll click the button. Apologies. Fun detected and errated. I don't even think that was fun. I think that was stupid. I don't like it. I don't like it. I hate everyone using allies and using the same fucking models back and forth. And use your own stuff, to me. You got my complete undivided attention for Slaves of the Darkness news. Truly undivided. Good pun. And it turned out correcting a typo on a model you refused to get. Yeah. That being said, hey, look forward to a new battle tome this winter. That's the real exciting news. What if your own stuff is dumb soup because you're dumb soup impulse painter? Then suffer under the choices you have made. Take responsibility. But also have fun playing the game. Battletome Seraphon. The most powerful army in the game right now, Thunder Lizard. Are they getting a balance change or anything like that? Well, this is an errata. But Spoiler, the answer is no. It's a white dwarf fucking path to glory thing. All right, yeah. False alarm. You thought that something happened. Nothing happened. Magenta text was a ruse. Next. Idneth Deepkin. When casting the Tsunami of Terror spell, can I pick the same enemy unit multiple times? And then the Chad face? Yes. This is surprising to me. Because Tsunami of Terror. Tsunami of Terror is a spell that has a casting value of 7, range of 12. Kind of short range. But let's read on. If cast, pick up to D3 enemy units within range and visible. Subtract 1 from save rolls for attacks made with melee weapons that target that unit until your next hero phase. Now, it doesn't say pick up to D3 different enemy units. In all fairness, it doesn't say different. If it did, it would mean you have to pick different ones. And you are forgiven for assuming that the default way of reading this implies different, because you have to choose D3 enemy units. Obviously, you can't choose the same one twice, right? Well, actually, the default state, as far as the game is concerned, is yes. You can pick the same one multiple times, unless you're told not to. So, Eidolon of Mathland aspect of the Sea gamers, please enjoy your essentially D3 extra rend on enemy unit spell, which is pretty good. That's a pretty good spell. I mean, it's only got a 12-inch range, right? But the caster it's attached to is a 12-inch flyer with a 3-up, 5-up, with a, okay, not very impressive combat profile, let's be honest. But a reroll casting and dispelling, double caster, double unbinder. This is, this shit's pretty good. This shit's actually pretty good. Anyway, as an Idneth Deepkin player who has had a wave Chad for a long time and it's never been good, I am kind of pleased. If I have multiple Akhelian King units in my army, can I use the Lord of Tides ability with each Akhelian King unit? The answer is obviously yes. Oh wait, no. The answer is no. The Lord of Tides ability can only be used once regardless of the number of Akhelian King units in the army. This is one of those, in my opinion, as I said on Twitter, Games Workshop is, due to the conventions under which they write their rules, it is often a little blurry. When on a war scroll they are talking about what the unit does, and when on a war scroll they are telling you to do something with the unit, and then one step even farther back on the war scroll, telling you what you are allowed to do amongst all of them, and then like choosing one or something like that. So this is a reasonable, question and answer. To say nothing of the balance of it. From the balance of it, the answer is obviously no. But it's interesting that from a rules perspective, it is also no. Let's read. Once per battle at the end of your charge phase, you can pick up to D3 different friendly unit. I know Deepkin units wholly within 12 of any friendly units of this ability. If you do, until the end of that turn, the units you picked are affected by the High Tide ability from the Tides of Death battle table, in addition to any other abilities from the Tides of Death table they are affected by. So the reason you can only, by the rules, I consider this more of a reminder. But, so once a battle among any friendly units with this ability. That's the important part. So they mean among any number of Achillean kings, you can choose one of them once a game and do this. And so people could have interpreted this as once per battle each one does, but no, it's in fact any. And any is usually not like a limiter or a restrictor. Subconsciously in your head, when you're thinking about the word any, you're like, oh, this is widening the stuff, but actually it's shrinking it from a requirement standpoint in this particular case. Anyway, from a balance perspective, the answer was obviously no. But from the rules, no, you just play with one king. Got it. How many scenery pieces can I set up if I use the rune of the Surging Gloomtide Artifact of Power? You must set up 2 because that's what a Gloomtide shipwreck is. It is 2 pieces, either connected or disconnected. So this is just a clarification. That's what the terrain feature is. It's 2 of them, either connected or not. Anyway, Domhain, Namarti Savages. Checking the tapes here. This was that one Namarti ability that everybody read and was like, excuse me, what the fuck are you letting me do? Domhain. If you take the first turn in the current battle round, in your combat phase, after a friendly Domhain Namarti unit has fought for the first time that phase, if there are no enemy units within 3 of that Domhain unit, meaning, yeah, the big paragraph. If your Namarti destroy an enemy, they can then, during combat, after they have destroyed that unit, charge in the combat phase, resolve that charge, and then immediately fight a second time still during combat. I should say, I said immediately. Immediately has a game definition, and it doesn't apply here. You can then pick that unit a second time. So, if you take the second turn in the battle round, you can issue redeploy up to 3 times in the same phase. If a friendly Domhain hero does so, each command must be received by a friendly Domhain unit. No command point is spent on the second and third time this unit receives that combat. So, all they really changed here was a little clarification on the second half of this, as far as I can see. Yeah, it's just clarifying the language on, instead of multi-ball, like one command ability targets 3 instead of target 1, they decided to let it use it 3 times, and then you don't pay for the second or third. So it's just like a different way of resolving the same ability, essentially. I thought they were going to nerf this ability. They decided not to nerf it, and I have to say, as a person waiting for some Beast Claw Battle Tome action, I am interested in fight, then charge during combat, then fight again as a mechanic in the game. I am very interested in that ability being in the heads of the rules writers when they're, at least probably right now, might just be working on a Beast Claw. Half of a Battle Tome.
The cream. And let me point. The cream. The cream. The cream. The cream. The cream.
How do you charge something that you're already base to base with? You don't. It says so right here. If there are no enemy units within 3 of that Namarti unit. So right there. So this is like you have destroyed it and it is gone. And now if nothing is within 3 of you, you can charge. Yeah, you got to finish something off. This is essentially smashing and bashing, Idnef Deepkin style. Although, and yet, however, if you wanted to give something the ability to charge, even though it was within 3 inches, you would just say that. For instance, I have a command trait. I think it's a command trait. Might be an artifact. Tyrant's got it. Merciless Bully. If an enemy unit fails battle shock within 6 inches of him, he may immediately attempt to charge that unit, even if he is within 3 inches. I mean, there you go. This isn't, I haven't written this in full Games Workshop rules writing lingo yet, but that's basically what you would say. Merciless Bully is if somebody fails Battle Shock check within 6 of him, he can immediately charge that unit, even if he is within 3. He can't fight, he can just charge. But charges do impact hits, so that's the rub there. And yeah, it's during the Battle Shock phase, and it's even if he's within 3. So you just do it. You just say that, because little rule beats big rule. Every rule is essentially an exception to a core rule, right? Like when you're moving, you have to move over stuff, and you can't move over enemy units, right? Or your own. But the rule fly lets you ignore that restriction. And so little rules are essentially just a bunch of ignoring restrictions. Or at least in large part they can be. Now you could say that this is a bad trait, right? This is a bad trait. Who even takes Battle Shock tests in 2022, right? You know, you've heard the song and dance before. Well, who indeed? Enemy units within 6 of this model may not issue or receive commands in the Battle Shock phase. Oh look, you might have to take some Battle Shock checks now. It's not even really a combo, it's just like a thing that allows this ability to in fact work. But these are the kind of things you have to think about. Anyway, is that, moving on. Eidolon and Mathland aspect of the sea. Oh, it got the totem keyword. Damn. 18-inch command abilities. Sick, dude. Actually sick. Voltanos gets Deep Mare. Italian King gets Deep Mare. And Lotan. Lotan the Brotan. What do you got for me? Warden of the Soul Ledgers. Fount of Willpower. Let's read the first one first. Lotan, what are you doing? What are you doing with that font in your hand? Once per battle, if this unit is on the battlefield at the start of your hero phase, you can pick one ritual from the Isharan Rituals table and one friendly Thievkin unit wholly within 12. Until your next hero phase, the unit you picked is affected by that ritual. In addition to any others, it is affected by double Ritties, and it's automatic. Big. What did they change it to? Once per battle, if this unit is on the battlefield at the start of your hero phase, you can pick one ritual from the Isharan Rituals table, and one friendly Idoneth Deepkin unit wholly within 12 of this unit. Until your hero phase, the unit you picked is affected by that ritual. In addition to others, it is even if the Tides of Death ability required for that ritual does not apply. Cool, okay. So this is a little bit of clarifying text to furthermore allow the ability to do anything instead of not do anything. All right, yeah, that's classic errata. It's just cleaning up the language. It does indeed do what you think it did, you know, so on and so forth. I like it. IDK update was cleaned up this language a little bit, or rather changed the convention upon which they describe these sort of multi-ball command ability effects. Fine. Totemon aspect of the sea is legit. Deep Mare on these guys is cool. Lotan's ability just clarified. This just clarified. Also, this just clarified, although it's probably news to many people, including people who probably just skimmed it. So, good. And Tsunami of Terror is the shit. Is Aspect of the Sea broken or an auto choose? I actually don't think so. He's just good. And that's never been the case before, so good work. I appreciate it. All right, not bad. Any more Errata? Nope, that was it. All right, Errata over, news segment complete. Done and done. Close this one out here. All right, Slaves to Darkness news. Next battle tomes, we got even more roadmaps. Also, I would like to formally applaud Games Workshop here. They're really sticking to this roadmap thing, and I really like it. It's just a good idea. It's nice. This one's for you. We now return to your regularly scheduled coping. Yeah, regularly scheduled copium. What is our regularly scheduled copium for this exact thing? I guess it's what the reveals are going to be next week. What's this Armies on Parade thing? May, June? Looks good. That's Vince Venturella, Heywoah School of putting stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff. I approve. Really excellent purple. Good dynamic here. I like it. As they say in the business, when they can't think of anything else nice to say, good use of color. Maybe the glow effect works in real life. It kind of doesn't, as I'm looking at it here, but the paint job is amazing. Besides that, it looks dusty almost. It's got to be the photograph. I'm sure in real life it looks sick. The absolute state of the orrery croak. This is the Sanguinius, right? Leader of the something Space Marines who got killed by Bad Man and was the good boy of the Emperor. And everyone kind of likes him. Yeah? The vampire? The good guy vampire guy? Blood Angels, that's it. Killed by Batman? No, killed by bad guy. Bad man, son man of Emperor. In that one picture, you know, the famous picture where Sanguinius is like dying and the Emperor is standing there with his weird hand. Or maybe, what the fuck is the other guy's name? Horus? Age of Horus? Speaking of models, should we look at some Hobe? Oh yeah. You're entirely correct. I do need to catch up. It's been a while. Hobby to show on stream. All right, let's do it. Let's catch up. This is by Locksmaster. Trying to level up a bit with the Knights. Such beautiful model, just gotta get some tufts to really call it. This is Locksmaster. Unenhance. Man, I like Chaos Knights. Show me the cape game. Can we get some cape game here? Nice cape game. Awesome rune shields. The horse has so many layers of armor and chainmail and leather and shit. So huge. Anyway, looking great. 5 out of 7. And good taste. Also good paint scheme. You finally made it to a stream, says Noptic. This was Locksmaster. Maybe Chaos Knights won't suck in the new Battle Tome. That would be cool. That would be cool. I seem to remember... No, that's mean. I won't be mean. I won't be mean. I heard people say, before the new Slaves book was coming out, for the last book, Chaos Knights were the best cavalry in the game. But they were probably being sarcastic. You like this Slays the Darkness Start collecting box, you just don't like how it is literally the one kit you should get outside of Vanguard. I wish they would sell it separately. Have they started doing that yet? That's what I'm looking forward to. Let the copium turn into hopium? Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Everyone needs to cope a little bit in some manner. Scarbrand on Magmadroth is the person's name on Discord. And they're making a Wiggly Goblin counts as here. This boy. That damn smile. Good facial expression here. That's fun. And pretty neon on the green, which I rather enjoy. Improvements to contrast from photo editing detected, but that's fine because you're probably just trying to get it to look like it actually does in real life. And when you take a picture of a model, it looks different than what it looks like in real life. And so you just have to do a little bit of stuff. And this texture looks like a topological map. Or topographical. Which one am I? Am I thinking of the right one? Topographical. Yeah, I am. It looks like topography. Is that what happens when you 3D print something? Anyway, I like the model and I like the paint job. Good work. 5 out of 7. Scarbrand on Magmadroth is the person who posted that. Finished my Morn Ghoul conversion for Path to Glory. It says Razzle Sparks. Alright, show me. Oh, that's fun. Look at its cute little sad face and eyes. And the big collar. Now, it does have the look of jawless behavior on it. Dude's pointing to the gallows. That's fun. This is just a fun conversion. Obviously 5 out of 7, but a fun 5 out of 7. Oh, and it's even got a cute little backpack with a snack for later. Nice. It's just going on a field trip. This ghost is going on a field trip. I appreciated it. Yeah, 5 out of 7. Good work. Are Chaos Knights able to be battle line? Yes, for sure. Let's see. Oh, Tomb King Tristan is doing some works in progress, but I like to show finished stuff. Speaking of finished stuff, Khalil with some Skaven terrain. We can show terrain here too. Very oily. An oily 5 out of 7. Nice dripping effects here. I imagine you actually just, to be perfectly honest, poured stuff and had it drip. That's not cheating. That's realistic. For those Skaven oil barons in the chat. Good terrain, and it looks fun. Is that a Christmas ornament? I don't know if Khalil's in chat, but 5 out of 7 and good work. I feel like I wouldn't make it out of a Christmas ornament because there's a, there's a break danger there. There's a shatter danger, and you're gonna affix stuff to it that has some leverage on it. I would probably use something else, but I don't know what they used. Do you like it for the headcanon? Well, if it's for headcanon, it's a Christmas ornament. You can use the dollar store plastic ornaments. Oh, right, yeah. And then there's no shatter danger because they're basically just a ball that doesn't bounce. You watched Home Alone. He can't trick you. Yeah, they're very shatterable. Yeah, indeed. Very indeed. Brilliant. All right, I thought there would be more hobby. That's it. Hey, great work, everyone who showed hobby. And 5 out of 7 for it. But I'm all caught up. I guess in that case, then I'll show a work in progress that Tomb King Tristan is working on. Look at this dude. God damn. For the custom Tomb Kings army that he has been working on forever. It's got the Mind Stealer Spheranx head. It's got the Ghosty Boys. It's got Handmaidens from, well, actually, it could be from several kits. Custom crafted Egyptian bracers. And what type of weapon is this? A Khopesh? I want to get my weapons right. It is a Khopesh. I did it. I said the right thing. Let's fucking go.
Please clap.
And it's standing mightily atop a tactical piece of mystical terrain. Damn, this is sick. It's gonna look great. If they ever bring Tomb Kings back to the game, which they won't, Tomb King Tristan is so fucking prepared for that moment. God damn. Also, I'm running a tournament with the most powerful armies of all time being invited to it. And I would be remiss if I didn't include whatever the cheapest point cost version of Tomb Kings from first edition was. And so Tomb King Tristan is welcome to play in said tournament, if they wisheth. Tomb Kings are not copyrightable enough? True. Actually, true, yeah, that's essentially why. The two reasons why is they weren't copyrightable enough, and the least people played them out of any army in the entire game, next to Empire. Everything they squatted from Warhammer Fantasy was stuff that just actual no one played. The tragedy, really, was that a lot of the stuff looked great, it's just no one played it because the rules suck. At the time. Even though the quality of rules has nothing to do with whether people buy it or not, I'm assured by all sorts of people. Which may or may not be true. Is that even a Spheranx? I think it is the Spheranx head. I would have to be convinced heavily otherwise, because it really looks like it to me. Is that the body of the Avatar of Cain? I think so. And then a big sword on the hip here. Shit. It is. It has two head options. Yeah. What a Chad. What a Chad move. Anyway, chat. It's time. I'm cutting it off. Is that sword sculpted? I bet it is wrapped around some other stuff. But in that case, yes or no? Is the whole sword green stuff? Almost certainly not. I bet it's like, I bet he took plastic art or something and cut it out into a 2D plane, kind of like how you would extrude in 3D Studio Max. I don't think anyone still uses that program. I'm old, sorry, but and then like put green stuff around it, kind of molded it there so it has a firm bone, I guess, in there, if you will. And then, as you can see up here, like sanded it down a little bit. That's Magnus's Khopesh, possibly press molded. Okay, all right. I didn't know Magnus had a Khopesh. I'm not familiar with 40k. I am the bone of my plastic art. Yeah, right. You posted your Mega Boss again, Femug? Alright, let's check it out. Oh yeah, have I get the impression I've seen it. I think we have, but it was probably a long time ago, and that was before I was doing VODs for YouTube. So by the way, people who want to post their models, say hello YouTube, I guess. Which is why I have a channel for hobby to show on stream versus just hobby, because some people don't want their stuff posted. Maybe they're a new painter and they think it doesn't look good and they're embarrassed, when in reality they haven't been painting very long and no one's judging them. Or they shouldn't be anyway. Got a mega boss. Look at this boy. Rich. Burgundy. Great color. These are reds. He's in them jeans. All right. He just looks like a fucking lad here, ready to stand on top of a maw crusher. Always liked this symbol up here. I thought it was cool. Dual wielding pig slappers or whatever these shits are. Orc mega bosses are some great models, I think. To me. Also, can we turn around? Can we see that dump? Oh man, covering it up. But every time he sits down, he does so on a specifically Stormcast Retributor Unit Champion head. If I may call my shot here. I might be wrong, but I think that's what that is. Anyway, nice. Good work and 5 out of 7. That was, by the way, Fee Monk, the Elden Lord. Dumpies, where's Mad Yi when you need him? Yeah, I know. I can't believe I didn't do a Dumpy tier list. Because Heywoah stream, in addition to Corn Labs on Discord, we invented the dumpy corn thing, at least as far as I know. Maybe it existed before that. But squat rack, the dump truck of corn, like all that stuff, I can't believe I didn't do a tier list for it. Pointless tier lists are kind of my bit. Mad Yi. Oh, man, I gotta wake up earlier in the morning about these youngsters out here coming up with the good ideas. Yeah, we showed it on stream. We did the dump truck destroyer stream, but it wasn't exactly a tier list. Someone stole the corn and dumped it. No, it's almost certainly independent invention. If you look at a dump truck like Squat Rack, the dump truck of corns, like, you will be inspired. If anyone else is, am I showing it on? I'm not showing it on stream again. I've showed it on stream too much, but you will look at it and be like, yeesh. Somebody put a lot of love and a lot of extra plastic into that one. The true gifts of the God of War. The buns of war. All right, new army idea. Anyway, chat, I gotta help Gramps the second half of this day. So I must go, leave the house, and physically drive in the real world, which fucking sucks. But, this show was a nice, I felt like this, we had like content after content, chock full, thick, girthy content, back to back, like big dominoes. Man, isn't it nice when Games Workshop has something happening that we can talk about? Caked up Beastman this week was wild. Yeah, it was. Anyway, short and sweet. Just like Groudon Overlords, I guess. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. Today is technically still the first day of Diablo 2 ladder. So when I get home tonight, I might make a ladder character. Or I'll finish up this work that I'm supposed to be doing for the stream. Or I'll finish up the work I'm supposed to be using for the YouTube video. I'll play it by ear. Anyway, TY for watching. I'm going to deposit you guys somewhere else. Please enjoy some credits music.